Land that was once symbolized death and destruction has been changed due in part to a local organization to help give better life to children in Russia. Christian Partners Incorporated is a Clarksville organization that helps build and sponsors children's homes in Russia. Today we're with the organization's founder, Harold Witmer, and to see what's going on now and in the future and how you can be a part of a vision of great works. Mr. Witmer, thanks for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having us.
And you have your have a partner with you here today as well, Mr.
Kurt Finley, who's on his way to Russia.
Well, we're so excited and so glad to hear about such a wonderful cause. And Mr. Witmer, how did you get started? You had a great vision that you saw many years ago, but how did it all evolve to what it is today?
Well, it all started with this Russian New Testament. I had a desire. They told me there was 100,000 Russian soldiers in East Germany when the Berlin Wall fell down.
Right.
And I had a desire to take this New Testament to each one of them. Now, I didn't get 100,000 there, but I did put a dent in taking some across the ocean to these soldiers. And I have a picture today of my wife who gave out. My wife's name is Faye, and there she is giving out that first Russian New Testament to that Russian soldier.
And a lot of the Clarksville community may recognize Faye from being in the real estate business for quite some time.
Well, thank you. We'll put that plug in. She's with Honeycutt Real Estate, and but she really has had a heart for the Russian people, even though she only got to go on this one particular trip.
Right. Well, now you were just sitting at home one day, and there's so many different organizations today to become involved in. Why this particular cause?
Well, I was going to a prayer group here in town, and with a group of pastors, and they were praying about these Russian soldiers. And I said, well, I'm going to buy you some Russian Bibles. So I got together my donation. However, in getting together the donation, they said, why don't you come along and give them out? I said, oh, no. I never had a passport, never been out of the country, and don't plan on doing it. So
I had other plans
I
for
never
you.
should have said those words. I ended up going across the ocean and taking these New Testaments personally to the soldiers. And the beautiful part was I had 9 people on the airplane with me from Clarksville that went along.
That's great.
It is. It was wonderful. It was just great.
Now, when did you do this? How long ago was it?
Oh, it was probably 12 years ago when the Berlin Wall first came down. The very next year after it came down is when that part of the country opened up to the Russian military. You know, for 50 years, the Russians would walk down one side of the wall, the Americans would walk down the other side of the wall, and those who are in the military at Fort Campbell for 50 years will tell you all they did was study on how to deal with these Russian people. And so now, for the first time in history, we could cross over that wall and actually meet these Russian soldiers. And I just knew that many of them never had a Bible, and it'd be a great opportunity for the church to launch mission work in Russia. So that's how it came about.
Well, there's so many children that are suffering there today. Explain to our viewers what you saw the first time you were there.
Well, you know, when I first went into the Russian military, that wasn't so difficult because that was in Germany. But the next year, the Russian military was sent back home to Russia itself. And in order for me to go back and give them their Bible, I had to actually go into Russia. And I saw things I never would have believed. And, of course, one of them was the condition of the land. I always thought of Russia as a very prosperous and a very economically strong land. Right. Well, they had no infrastructure, no way to get products from one place to another. They couldn't maintain even the weapons that they had. So here was a country that was strong, but was financially devastated. And when I went into these children's homes and saw, here's a picture of one of the homes we went to. See if we can get a picture of this one. This is in a city called Kaluga, Russia. Can you pull that one up? Well, if you notice the condition of that building, it looks like a building that went through a war. I mean, it's falling apart, and but we had an opportunity to go into this home and provide Christmas gifts. We called our trip Christmas in May, and we left out of Clarksville with little gifts for these kids, and of course, a lot of people picked up on it. I usually have from 6 to 12 that goes with me every trip, and now I go every year. So
that's incredible.
It is. It's beautiful.
And now you all have a special item that signifies who you all are with and that you all are together as a group, correct?
Right. Yeah, we go in as Christian partners, and here's a picture of our team 2 years ago. Now, the amazing part of this picture is here that everybody in this picture has a different background. Some of them own businesses. The young man with the cowboy hat is a full-time singer in Nashville, and the man to your right on this picture is was one of the, I guess it'd be to your right or left, depends on how you're viewing it. But this fellow right here, my finger is
Be on their left.
Joe Turman. That's the left, okay? He came back, been a missionary for like 20 years, came home from the mission field, and wanted to go back to Russia. So these are the group of people we took. Here's a man from, works at the hospital at the bottom of the picture, Hubert White. And Hubert White has been out there 8 years. He's been with me into Russia 8 times. One man.
That's wonderful.
And there's a nurse that works right next to him. She works in surgery. So it just, just those kind of people that go back and forth with us.
Well, don't go anywhere. We're going to go to a break, and then we're
Okay.
going to come back and learn a little bit more about Kirk and what he's doing and how the community can be involved. So don't go away, because we're going to give you more information in just a moment.
Welcome back. We're learning more today about Christian Partners Incorporated. They're an organization that helps children and families in Russia.
Carol, you have some pictures, too,
Yes,
that you'd like to
I want
show.
to talk especially about this picture right here. I think I showed you this picture the other day.
Yes.
This is a fantastic picture. We now have 6 children's homes in Russia, and if you'll notice, they're holding those little gifts. Those gifts come from right here in Clarksville, Tennessee. We take them with us on the airplane. But as we took the gifts over and gave them out to these children's homes, something happened. This lady in this picture right here, this Russian lady, I said, I want to give you something, some money to feed the children. And so what we did was we actually gave her a couple $100. And I noticed that all the people in the room started to weep. And I asked them, I said, what's going on? And my interpreter said, don't you know? I said, no. She said, that lady makes $7 American a month. Now this shows you the condition of the town that we're in. Now that's a month, not a week. And she said these other ladies make $5 a month. And she said, Harold, the reason I know is one of those ladies is my mother. So it was a very heart-searching situation. And I knew then for a little money that we could feed all these kids in these homes for practically, just not a whole lot of money. So coming home on the airplane, I got an idea of taking this same picture, putting it on a jar. And here's the jar today. And putting it on a jar and asking people when they come in at night to put their loose change in there, okay? The first year we put out these jars, this is amazing to me. We only put out 80 jars, and here's one of them here filled up on this table already.
We're going to give this one to you and swap out.
From the folks right here at Saturn. But it's amazing. Those jars held, the first year held $4,000, 80 jars. That's
incredible.
So people not only sent the Christmas gifts, they also sent to buy the food for the kids. So that was one of our big projects. But then we started buying property in Russia, actually purchasing land. And so one of the things we heard about was this missile site. Actually, there's a picture of it, if they can grab that picture on the television there. But there's a picture of the actual silos back here. My finger is over in this area. There's where the silos are, and here's the barn, and then this is the barracks building where the soldiers lived, right there. Can you get that picture also? Okay.
So.
And I want to just share the story with you. This property, we actually purchased this for $3,000 American, 150 acres. Today on this land, in this long building here in the back where my finger is, we have a bakery that produces 600 loaves of bread a day. We have purchased the property, and we also have truck farming. And this group right here, in fact, the lady in the middle there is the federal judge of the area. And those are the kind of people that have gotten involved in this. So that's just one piece of property. Then we also purchased a movie theater for the local church. Can you get a picture of the movie theater? That's what it looked like when we originally purchased it. And it had the old Russian sickle on top of it there. And I just want to show you what you can do with a little bit of money in Russia. This is the same building right here 2 years later. Can you get that picture? Look at that. 2 years later, that's the same building, and we did this entire project for $12,000. That's a local church. We have 500 people meeting here on Sunday morning. So it's just the Lord to put it all together.
Wonderful. Well, real quickly, we've got just a few minutes longer. For those that may be watching today and they want to become involved, as you have, maybe not to the point that you would like to go to Russia, and you may, but you may want to help in other ways. How can people become involved, and what do you need?
Well, one way they can get involved is they can get involved by taking this jar home, sitting at their kitchen table, and praying for the Russian children, and each night when they come in, throw in their loose change. These jars will bring in enough to feed all those orphanages over there, just the jars. That's the only fundraising, by the way, we do throughout the year. That's amazing. All the property and things are picked up by people that just hear about it and say, I want to do this or I want to do that. So that's the main way. Then the other way is we take gifts every year to the children. One thing they like is hard candy, individually wrapped. So we need hard candy this year, okay? The other thing we need this year is we need a little stuffed animal, okay? And we give each kid a little stuffed animal, and we give them a little bag of hard candy. Every kid gets the same. And, you know, it's amazing. We have a lady in a wheelchair right here in Montgomery County that sits there and takes these little pieces of hard candy, counts out each piece, so each kid gets exactly the same. Now remember, we're feeding 2,000 kids. That's what we're doing. It takes 2,000 bags of hard candy.
That is incredible. Well, we are so glad that you've been able to be with us today and share with us this tremendous need that's going on in Russia. And in the Bible, John 14:12 says that he that believeth on me, greater works than these shall he do.
That's correct.
And so we are so glad that you all are helping. And if you would like to become involved and help out the children in Russia, you can contact Mr. Witmer, and we're going to put his information on the screen so that you can be a part.
Every day they pass me by, I can see it in their eyes, empty people filled with care, headed who knows where. On they go.